Hello everyone and welcome to the latest Tempo Storm Wild Meta Snapshot breakdown. As things settle in with the new Saviors of Uldum meta, we're seeing a changing of the guard on the Wild ladder. Secret Mage has taken over the top tiers and firmly established itself as the deck to beat. In a Secret Mage world, many of the mainstays of the Rise of Shadows meta have fallen to the wayside, while some others are managing to hold their own. Our Wild meta experts are following the meta closely to help you navigate this brave new world. Before we begin our breakdown, don't forget to subscribe to the Tempo Storm Hearthstone YouTube channel to stay up to date with our Hearthstone content. Now let's get started. Secret Mage has rocketed to the top of Tier 1 after Saviors of Uldum, surpassing all other archetypes in both popularity and win rate. The combination of efficient early-game minions, early board clears, over-the-top damage, and late-game refill from Aluneth has proven to be very effective against the field at large. As players continue to refine the deck, we're seeing mages embrace playing 2 copies of each of the new cards from Saviors to get an edge against aggro, while cutting cards like Forgotten Torch and Polymorph Boar. The overwhelming popularity of this deck has pushed decks like Big Priest and Quest Mage out of the meta almost completely, and aggressive decks like Odd Paladin and Murloc Shaman are scrambling to adjust. Control decks like Reno Warlock and Reno Mage can still do well against this deck by clearing its board and managing their health, so Secret Mage is not unbeatable. One thing's for certain, on the climb to Legend, you'll face this deck more than anything else, so plan accordingly. Even with all the Secret Mages running around, some of the powerhouse decks of the Rise of Shadows meta are still around, and Odd Rogue might be the best of them. Odd Rogue's straightforward plan of establishing board dominance with the Pirate package, upgraded hero power, and high-tempo removal minions keep the Rogue competitive against the field at large, allowing Odd Rogue to hold its position in Tier 1. As a concession against mages, we're starting to see health management tools like Violet Illusionist and Ziliax appear in odd lists to help mitigate the life loss from using poison daggers to manage the board. Joining Odd Rogue to round out Tier 1 is even Shaman. Maintaining its position based on the strength of its aggressively statted minions and powerful board management tools, even Shaman remains powerful against other board-centric aggro decks and slow or under-tuned decks. At the same time, even Shaman is adjusting to the Secret Mage meta better than most, with some lists foregoing slower minions like Flame Wreath Faceless and Sea Giant in favor of cheaper cards like Evil Totem and Earthen Might and the new powerhouse finisher Vicina. With the ability to hold its own against Secret Mage while continuing to dominate the rest of the meta, even Shaman remains a force to be reckoned with. Coming in at the top of Tier 2, Reno Warlock maintains its position as one of the strongest control-style decks you can play in Wild Hearthstone. Zephrys the Great gives the Warlock outs to virtually any situation and is a critical addition to Reno Warlock's defensive suite. A focus on early-game defense with cards like Doomsayer, Defile, and Demon Wrath alongside the Voidcaller Demon package give Reno Warlock an edge against Secret Mage in the hands of a skilled pilot. Reno Warlock still finds room for other disruption with cards like Dirty Rat, Gnome Feratu, and Skulking Geist giving the Warlock odds against combo decks. With the departure of Big Priest and Quest Mage from the meta, some of Reno Warlock's worst matchups are less popular than ever, making Reno Warlock a solid pick on the climb to Legend. Next up in Tier 2, Reno Mage remains popular off the back of its many new upgrades from Saviors of Uldum. Zephrys the Great and Reno the Relicologist join Reno Jackson and Kazakus to give Mage the greatest payoff to Highlander-style deck construction that you can get in Wild. Reno Mage wants to focus its early game on defense with cards like Volcanic Potion and Flame Ward to buy time to get its late game win conditions online. Like any control deck, Reno Mage can be tuned to fight saturated metas, and our featured list includes life-gaining taunts to give it a fighting chance against Secret Mages. Similar to Reno Warlock, with the thinning of poor matchups like Big Priest and Quest Mage from high ladder ranks, and with upgrades from Saviors at its disposal, Reno Mage is well positioned to make its mark on the Wild meta. New to Tier 2 after Saviors of Uldum, we have Mech OTK Warlock. Revolving around the combination of Snip Snap and Mech Warper with Summoning Portal and Glinda Crowskin, this deck seeks to generate virtually infinite Snip Snaps in order to set up either an immediate OTK with an onboard mech or a next turn kill with a massive board. With the lack of unconditional board clears in the current meta, very few decks are equipped to deal with the large wave of Snip Snaps when the deck goes wide, making this combo surprisingly effective. The rest of the deck either draws cards or buys time to get the combo online. This all-in approach makes it a race against time against aggressive decks like Secret Mage, but thanks to its excellent matchups against the Reno decks, this approach is paying dividends at Legend ranks. Rounding out our snapshot, Odd Paladin continues to report for duty in Tier 2. Even as its popularity wanes, Odd Paladin remains a strong dark horse pick in the Secret Mage meta. Mage may have Arcane Flak Mage, but thanks to its upgraded hero power and other easy token generation, Paladin is well equipped to rebuild and manage the board, eventually putting the game away with pushes fueled by Loatheb and Quartermaster. Thanks to its consistent and straightforward game plan, Paladin maintains one of the highest win rates at all ranks of ladder, even if its mage matchup is no longer the best. Saviors of Uldum has impacted the wild meta more than anyone could have anticipated, with the rise of Secret Mage shaking the format to its very core. At the time of this video, the August balance changes were just announced, and while most of these changes were targeted for Standard, the changes to Barnes in particular is sure to make waves in Wild. Will the Barnes nerf relegate Big Priest to the shadows for good? If Big Priest is abandoned and Secret Mage loses its best matchup, will it be able to maintain its new position as King of the Hill? Wild is a dynamic format, and we're looking forward to watching as the Wild community continues to adjust. As always, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to keep an eye on Wild developments, and let us know in the comments where you think the Wild meta will end up next. Thanks for watching.